All right, let's see. Where are we here? All right. Okay. Just doing some things here. Hold on a second.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and I am here.
Awesome.
Okay, now we got everything set. I was just fixing some things resolution-wise and making sure that the stream was running okay. Yeah, folks, we have the house in attendance today. I am your host, Baby Moy, as you guys already know. I don't know where in the world Ness went. He said, hey, I'll be back, folks, and he has not returned. But I got Little Crystal here in the house, and I haven't hit that music yet for a reason. We're going to give this a couple of more minutes and wait for Ness to appear. In the meantime, I hope that a little someone over here could tell you guys what to do in order to follow us, listen to us, and watch us.
Sure, that name is growing on me now. Okay, you can follow us on our Facebook page. You can subscribe to us on YouTube. And you can also follow us on Twitter.
And speaking of Twitter,
make sure you tell a friend to tell a friend about our awesome channel.
And speaking of Twitter, you guys can also see that I've linked my personal Twitter account on there too. So if you guys want to personally follow me, go ahead. And as far as Facebook, I will never, ever, ever give you guys my Facebook, the personal Facebook page, that is. But you could follow the ENT Hooligans Facebook page if y'all want. Remember, we're not going to force anyone here to do anything or like anything or, force you guys to make choices, because different folks, different strokes, and a different world for all of y'all. So with that said, we've given Ness a good 1 to 2 minutes and he's not here yet. So I guess we should hit the music. Let me flip the window over for a second. And here we go. Let's go. Yes, folks, we are live and in charge here in the building. This is ENT Hooligans, as I said before, and as we've already gone over with you guys. Now, I did a video like 2-3 weeks ago going over the Royal Rumble, and we were supposed to come back the week after that, but, things happened. I had to set up new things for our streaming So, had to fix things on that and make sure that everything was, running securely, and that we got new things coming up for you guys. So stay tuned for that. And yeah, we got everything fixed. Everything is ready to go. And so, hope you guys have been doing good. We love you guys, our subscribers, new subscribers, our old subscribers, and subscribers to be. With that said, all that out of the way, we got a very packed show for you guys. We're going to talk a little bit of sports. If Ness decides to make it here, we will be talking some football. We will be talking some MMA. I will be taking things off my chest in regards to what's going on with WWE and the UFC. I'll also be talking about All Elite Wrestling. You guys want to watch that. And we'll be talking a little bit about Mortal Kombat and parenting.
Ooh.
And Ronda Rousey and the transgender community. Hot subjects. Very hot subjects.
Yeah.
So you guys don't want to miss that. And what should we start off with?
Oh, I don't know.
That's the $1 million question.
Well, I'm intrigued. Let's start off with the transgender community.
Okay. So, as you all know, unless you've been living under some sort of log or rock, Mortal Kombat 11 is slated for an April 23rd, 2019 release. So it's around the corner. I mean, a little over 2 months away. And Ronda Rousey is one of the voices of one of the Mortal Kombat characters, a very popular character at that, in Sonya Blade. This has been met with mixed reactions. Some people endorse it, other people do not like the fact that Ronda Rousey is voicing Sonya Blade, but I digress. What this is really about is the transgender community and how there's been somewhat of a backlash, not only towards Ronda Rousey, but to a certain extent, the NetherRealm Studio, who are the ones who develop Mortal Kombat. Warner Brothers publishes it. Here's the thing. Ronda Rousey, a couple of years back, now I'm not really going to get into specifics here because I do not remember off the top of my head who the name was, but Ronda Rousey was issued a fight which she turned down because her opponent, or whom they wanted her opponent to be, was a transgender individual. Now, Ronda Rousey went ahead and she snubbed the opportunity to fight this person because she said at the end of the day, that is a guy. It's not necessarily a female that I'm going to be stepping in the octagon against. Now, this is not a matter of her being in a scripted environment. Obviously, Ronda Rousey crossover Triple H would work because, again, it's a scripted environment and nobody's necessarily getting hurt. Now, take that with a grain of salt because wrestling, as I've noted plenty of times, does hurt. But the thing is this. So she turns down the fight and, for reasons that I've just pointed out. And I can't say I disagree with that because I don't. At the end of the day, that is a man whom she'd be stepping in the octagon against. I mean, she might on the outside appear or he may appear differently, but at the end of the day, internally, you have the strength of a man. You'll hit like a man. You'll fight her like a man, even though outside you read woman. On the inside, you have the strength of a man. And you times that times the factor that this is a combat sport, it's a violent sport, then you're looking at potentially something fatal happening to Ronda Rousey. No pun intended in the use of that word. And before you get to what you were going to say, the controversy comes in this, that a lot of folk are now saying that Mortal Kombat and NetherRealm Studio, they endorse discrimination towards the transgender community because they're supportive of a person whom, quote-unquote, went against their beliefs, voicing a character in their beloved Mortal Kombat game.
So they're supposed to... This doesn't necessarily mean they support what she said. Nobody's come out and said, oh, we support what Ronda Rousey had said about the transgender community.
Yeah.
That's hearsay.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Going back to what you said about, this person hitting like a guy, because, well, he is a guy. Okay. But transgenders take hormones. Could that alter the strength ability? It wouldn't, would it? I mean, just because they would take estrogen, right?
It's still a combat sport. That's still a guy.
Okay.
At the end of the day,
right? So it wouldn't alter their strength ability.
She had every right in the world to turn that down.
Right? Yeah. I'm not saying she didn't. I mean, I would have if I were her. But what I want to know is, would that impact this person's strength ability? And I believe the answer is no, because this person is still fighting. This person's a guy, There
was a story of a female boxer who fought against a transgender, quote, female, and well, let's just say that it was unbeknownst to her. She ain't know that this individual was a transgender. Went up against what presumably was a her, and the actual female ended up dying. And the gym that sanctioned this, obviously they went under a lot of scrutiny, and that created big buzz and controversy. Of course, why wouldn't it? You would think that under any circumstance, under any roof, you'd tell 100%, your client or whoever, hey, listen, this person is a this, that, or the third.
Yeah.
But it was hidden from.
You shouldn't. Wow. You shouldn't deceive somebody like that, because you do die in combat sports.
Yeah, but this is a guy versus a woman.
Yeah, and she should have been told that this person was transgender.
Yeah, absolutely.
But the reason why I believe they didn't tell her is because she could say no. And that's not fair. Because this woman lost her life.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's what this... And I'm sure Ronda Rousey is going down all the scenarios, all the what-ifs, all the... And she probably said to herself, I don't want to be under a predicament where I could potentially, number one, face a career-ending situation, or B, even worse, losing her life just because of a few extra dollars that she could have made off of this nonsense of a fight.
Right. Yeah, that's not fair at all to anybody.
But to go as far as to blame NetherRealm Studios and point fingers at them and say that they're supportive, that's just... I can't. And I'm not saying that as somebody who's a fan of Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat means the world to me for personal reasons. I'll be talking about that in a little bit. But it's not fair. It's not right to point fingers at a company who, listen, at the end of the day, NetherRealm Studios ain't your parent, ain't your guardian, ain't your spokesperson. They ain't your advocate. All they're doing is developing and producing games. That's all they're doing.
Yep. And, they're going to make a lot of money off of it. Good for
obviously.
them.
Of course.
But to say, they don't, to say they don't support the transgender community, how do you know that? You don't know that. You're just going by what some other person said, and that other person doesn't know that either.
I'm willing to bet that half these people who are going around screaming this, these what do they call them? Social justice warriors.
Social justice, yes.
I bet you half of them never even played not just Mortal Kombat, but a video game in their whole entire life.
Correct.
Because this is how narrow-minded these people are. Let's just face the facts.
They're just going by what other people have said.
Of course.
And that's hearsay.
Of course.
Have you gone and asked Ed Boon, who is the creator, I believe, of Mortal Kombat?
Yeah.
Have you gone and asked him yourself, hey, do you support the transgender community? No. You haven't gone and asked him. So, have you gone to ask the staff? Besides Ed Boon? No. Well then.
Yeah.
Stop making up these false pretenses, people.
People. I was having a conversation earlier with Ness about this, and people are too damn sensitive nowadays. I mean, God forbid you tell a joke. Now, me, personally, I like jokes of every kind. I don't discriminate. I'll blurt out a racial joke here and there. That doesn't mean I'm racist. I'll blurt out jokes about people with impairments. I'm visually impaired myself. But listen, at the end of the day, have fun. Have a little fun.
Seriously.
Live a little.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
It's okay. It's okay. I was actually talking to a friend of mine about that last week. How, parents who think that they're all high and mighty, they don't listen to other people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's not cool,
Yeah, I'm with you.
Just grow up. Live a little bit. It's okay. Don't be extra sensitive. Yeah. There's no need for that.
No. Live a little. Breathe a little. Please.
Seriously. Have fun. What's life without fun, right?
Yeah.
Really? Come on.
But this is the latest. This is what people are, at an uproar about. And I say, number one, that's a waste of time. Number two, there are too many things going on in this world for people to be spending energy and time on something like that. Let them make their video games and let people buy them and let people do as they please and see fit.
But it goes to show you people, if pushed far enough, they can be narrow-minded,
Yeah. I definitely agree with that.
Yeah.
Sticking with Mortal Kombat.
Mm-hmm.
Parenting.
Mm-hmm.
Now, before we came on air, we watched a video. It's called Parents React to Mortal Kombat 11 Fatalities. And there were, I guess, mixed feelings on the game. And obviously mixed reactions and, diversity. It's good. If you care to summarize it for the folks out there, tell them what were some of the premonitions and some of the statements made by some of these folks. Go ahead.
There was one person that kept going, "Oh my God!" as the fatalities were happening. She was just, and this person was an emergency room worker, So for her to say that, it's like, wow, this is really graphic and just, ugh. And there was this one guy on the video that said, the parents aren't going to like it, but the kids are going to love it. And that's true. That is so true, you know. Yeah, you should definitely watch that video if you're interested in it. It was really, really good.
What are your feelings on Mortal Kombat, though?
Okay. When I was a kid in the 90s, I was allowed to play it. But, you know, now that I'm older, I wouldn't let my 6 or 7-year-old kid play that.
Yeah, I think 6-7-year-old is a bit of a stretch.
9-10, you know.
I think, but then again, I'm also of the. I don't know. I'm also with the team that says, well, if they understand well enough that this is fantasy, that this isn't real, that you shouldn't go out and ripping people's spleens out of their bodies. I think that then, if you understand that, if you know that your child has the capacity to understand this, then by all means let them play. Now, if you know that they're not necessarily at an age where they could comprehend these things, especially if they're very, influential in terms of them being the ones influenced, then I say steer away from that. You know, if things of this nature are likely to leave a mark, an impression on your child.
Right. Yeah.
I think to me, I don't know, maybe 11, 12 is a golden age to let your child, play Mortal Kombat or any other violent game for that matter. But because it's Mortal Kombat, now Mortal Kombat has the reputation of being a very, very violent game, more violent than games such as God of War and Grand Theft Auto. And because it has that reputation, and because it's that game that ushered in the ESRB rating, and it was the first game to ever be rated M, that's why Mortal Kombat has such a stigma attached to it. You know, why there's so much bringing up of child versus parent and so on and so forth whenever a new Mortal Kombat game came out. Now, think about this, though. Mortal Kombat back then, when it was Mortal Kombat 1, 2, and 3, sticking with the classics, now, if that was enough to create an uproar and controversy, look at the Mortal Kombats that have came out in the last, I would say, 6 years or so, and how graphic in nature they are. Now, this Mortal Kombat 11 just pushes it. It pushes the envelope and the post office. You know, USPS, along with UPS, along with FedEx, all of it goes.
Now, I have a question for you.
Go ahead.
Does it go too far? Does the violence? Do you think now, Mortal Kombat 11? Do you think that the violence is going too far?
On the surface, if you're just looking at it, yes, absolutely. Mm-hmm. But if you look at it from it's the nature of Mortal Kombat, it doesn't. I don't think the words too violent go hand in hand with the nature that is Mortal Kombat. But again, if you're looking at it not from a Mortal Kombat standpoint, yes, it is. Absolutely is.
Okay.
Matter of fact, this edition of it makes Mortal Kombat X look like child's play.
Wow.
Absolutely.
Wow, that says a lot.
Of course. 'Cause that's a violent game within itself. But this
it is.
ramps it up to a whole different dimension. It's the dynamics have changed here.
Yeah, I mean, people, whatever he is, eating brains. I mean, really? so graphic.
It's not so much the what they're doing, because we've seen fatalities like that before. It's more so,
but it's graphic.
It's more so the presentation of it and how graphically, just I can't even put it into words. It's disturbing.
Yeah, it is. It is disturbing, and it's just. I'm laughing because my brain needs something to kind of be like, okay, and in my mind I'm thinking this is disturbing, but it's not too disturbing. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I gotcha.
It's not something that makes me go, oh my gosh, I don't ever want to see anybody play this video game.
Yeah.
I want to play this video game, you know?
Yeah. No, I gotcha.
Yeah. So, you were gonna say this game means a lot to you.
Yes. I wrote a post on Facebook. Don't recall if it was last week or a couple of days before last week, but the point is, I was talking about how the smaller things in life are the ones that should really mean the most to us. And something as simple as a video game is enough to make me happy. And a lot of times we complain about what we have, what we don't have, what we should have, what we wish we had. And Mortal Kombat to me was and still is a game that every time I get a new Mortal Kombat, I always think to myself, and I always say to myself, man, if my brother were here, he'd be as excited as I am for Mortal Kombat. And
was he a big video gamer like you?
He was a huge Mortal Kombat fan.
Wow,
you know?
Priceless,
awesome.
Man, priceless.
What's up, Ness?
Oh my gosh, you scared me. Woo.
Yo, what's up?
You know, it was.
My heart's now back to normal.
It was a game that, you know, we'd play for endless hours, and you know, him as Scorpion and me as Sub-Zero, and we just have a ball playing Mortal Kombat. Every single one that would come out, we'd be first in line for it. We'd pre-order the Mortal Kombat games, and with these new ones that have come out, you know, every time I always look up and I tell him, man, I wish you were here to enjoy this with me, you know, and knowing that we won't be able to do that, and that we won't be able to play this new Mortal Kombat coming out, you know, it really stings, you know, but then I look at it and I say, you know, I know that my baby bro would want me to just play on, and that's what I'm doing. You know, I play on, and Mortal Kombat, that's why I say, if something like Mortal Kombat is enough to tell me how precious life is, and I know it's weird given that Mortal Kombat is a game that deals with anything but life, the point is, let's stop being so damn complex, people. Let's stop being so critical about things. Let's stop complaining. Let's stop fussing.
Correct.
Over what we don't have.
Also too, I think the point you're also trying to make is that the simple pleasures in life, man.
Yeah.
Just the very things that we often overlook, just you know, they have the most impact on us. And you know, in a positive way.
Exactly.
And you know, and this is me. You know, I'm not changing the subject, but it's a different concept, I guess. Somebody had asked me once, I'll never forget it. Somebody had asked me once, why do you love to read so much? And I couldn't answer them. I finally can. I found out my mother would always read before she'd go to bed. There was always a book in the nightstand. You know, so reading makes me think of her. Just like Mortal Kombat makes you, Mo, think of your baby brother.
Yeah. Yeah, understand that. You know, and those are, Yeah, those are memories that could make you sad, and they do at times, but at the same time, those are memories that are very much inspirational. They're uplifting, and
Yeah.
you know, you take those everywhere with you. You know what I'm saying? That's why Mortal Kombat I regard it as, it's not just a video game for me. You know, it's something that to me signified and spells unification.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You know, and I remember today, I had just gotten a cartridge from the library, and I filled it up with books, and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, the Murder, She Wrote books. My mom used to read those. I found them.
That's incredible, and you wasn't expecting that. I guess.
Priceless, man.
No,
Priceless.
of course,
Yeah.
no, of course not. You know, and I'm thinking, well, why do I want to read these books so bad? You know, the TV series is cool. Why do I? You know, and I asked my uncle. I texted him today, and I said, hey, do you know? I said, my library has all the Murder, She Wrote books. He goes, oh no, your mom used to read those all the time. He goes, and what was worse, she would read them to me. So, you know, it was like, oh, okay, cool. You know?
That's priceless.
And so I told him, I found them, and he goes, oh wow. He goes, happy reading, you know.
Well, you should invite him over and have him listen to him with you.
No, he'll fall asleep.
Yeah,
that man's always working. He'll fall asleep.
I ain't a book person myself either, unless I'm watching something like Reading Rainbow. You know what I'm saying? I love me some Reading Rainbow.
No, wait a minute. I love Reading Rainbow. You like dramatized books.
Well, yeah, but I don't consider them books. I consider them audio movies, if anything.
That's a good way of looking at it. Yeah,
that's a good way of looking at it.
Those are more like audio movies. You know, it's kind of like well, not even kind of. It's exactly what graphic audio says. You know, every time you listen to a graphic audio book, it says a movie for your ears. You know, which is exactly what it is. It's not necessarily a book. It's not, hey man, once upon a time. You know what I'm saying? No. It's not that.
Yeah, it's a movie for your ears. Yeah, una película para los oídos.
Exactly.
Wow.
Now, Crystal,
where's the Telemundo voice when you need it?
Now, Crystal, if you don't if you don't mind backtracking, now that's if Ness missed the beginning portion of today's show, I don't know, Ness, if you heard us talking about Ronda Rousey and the controversy with Mortal Kombat and all that, and transgender community.
No, I didn't catch that. No.
And I'll let Crystal basically summarize it for you. So take it away.
I will do my best.
While I get my water.
I need water too. Okay, so basically, the transgender community is upset with Ronda Rousey because a couple of years ago, she was asked, when she was in the UFC, she was asked to fight someone who was transgender, and she said no because this person is a guy. You know, just because he's taking hormones and stuff doesn't make him a female. He still hits like a guy.
He still has the physical attributes, the physical strength of a man.
Correct. And now you fast forward, and she voices, I should say, a character in Mortal Kombat called Sonya Blade. And
good for her. Yeah,
the transgender community is saying that that NetherRealm Studios, who's the people that make Mortal Kombat, the transgender people are saying, oh, how can you support this person because this person didn't support us?
Right, so basically they're calling NetherRealm Studio out for discrimination.
Correct. Yes. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
Lord have mercy.
Yep. And I said, well, have you yourself asked Ed Boon if he supports transgender people? Ed Boon
Most likely,
the creator.
No. They just jumped to the conclusion that he doesn't support them.
And I bet you these people haven't even played not just Mortal Kombat, but a video game.
But yes.
Most likely, yeah.
You know.
Yes.
Now, going back to the UFC thing, I don't blame her for turning down this fight, because this is a person who transitioned into a woman, but still has the physical strength of a man, because this person was born male.
Remember the boxing incident.
And then you have the boxing incident where a woman was killed in the ring by a natural-born woman was killed in the ring by a transgendered woman.
Right.
Mm-hmm. That is a major disadvantage, and it's dangerous. Ronda Rousey could have gotten killed if she had accepted this fight.
Correct. Take over, guys. I'm gonna go grab me a water now.
Not to mention, MMA is more I don't want to say brutal, but I will say brutal. It's more a brutal spectacle than boxing. You know, you're dealing with takedowns, knees, elbows, kicks.
Yeah, you have more weapons to use in MMA, and if you're facing somebody who just became a woman but still has the physical strength of a man, that is very dangerous.
Correct. You know, but now NetherRealm Studios are being deemed as discriminatory because, which is a bunch of hot garbage, if you ask me.
Which is utterly ridiculous. I mean, if you wanna base that claim, at least have a legitimate reason to have that claim. Don't just base it on them using Ronda Rousey to do a voiceover. That's just ridiculous.
Exactly. Right on.
Because I'm pretty sure they would have had you do it too if you had auditioned or what have you.
Oh, bro,
we're not talking about combat sports. We're talking about doing voiceovers.
Oh, bro, just
two totally different things.
Just wave the check in front of their faces. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Yeah.
Man.
That's all you gotta do. Just wave that paper in front of their face, and they will jump at the opportunity.
Absolutely.
Even if their voiceover is horrible, they'll still do it anyway.
Obviously,
it's money.
Obviously.
Which typically they do sound horrible. A lot of them, most of them, some of them.
Who you telling?
Yeah. And you know, and voice and voice acting. That's the proper term for it. And I only know that because of an awesome narrator named Davina Porter, who was an actress before she became a voice actor. She said, and she doesn't play video games, but her kids do. And she said in an interview, voice acting is so important, whether you're reading a book or you're playing a video game.
Boy, we are really hitting the controversy button here, huh?
Yes, we are.
What a way to come back.
And swinging for the fences, y'all. That's right. We are back.
Well, you know, going back to what Ness said, though.
And real quick, I'd like to mention that I apologize for my lateness. You know, I got to make an entrance. Me being the ENT of ENT hooligans, I had to make an entrance.
He had to get his hair and his nails did.
You had to get a manicure and a pedicure.
That's right. You know, the whole works.
He was manscaping.
Wow.
I can't do a podcast without my mud bath.
Speaking of
oh, look at you.
Speaking of manscaping, just a quick note here. Now, JD from NY, who's a podcaster that I listen to, he loves Harry's. Now, Harry's is it's kind of like saying Dollar Shave Club. You know what I'm saying? So you get your shaving kit with your shaving cream and your aftershave and you know, handles and different blades. You get to choose different colors, and you could try your first go around with Harry's for free. Well, almost free. The only thing you have to pay is $1. $1 for the shipping handling. That's all. $1. You could fix up your face. You could take those chest hairs out, and if you like to groom your broom, then go on ahead.
And then take Blue Chew afterward.
That's you see, groom the broom,
Good
bro.
segue.
Groom the broom. You know what I'm saying?
And take Blue Chew afterward.
That's right. That's right.
Hashtag groom the broom.
Yes.
That's right. Now, sticking with Mortal Kombat for a little bit now, and we're about to move to another subject here. But what age do you think is a good starting point for someone to play Mortal Kombat? Now, keep in mind this. These new iterations of Mortal Kombat aren't your classic MK 1, 2, and 3. These new games make those look like child's play. So keep that one in mind. Given the graphic nature of what Mortal Kombat has become, and I know it's weird I use those words, what would you think is apropos?
It's quite gory.
Quite.
I think I'd say 15.
15?
Yeah, I was thinking 13.
Okay. See, I said 11, 12 with the only understanding that you've sat down with your child or preteen and explained to them, listen, this is what it is. I'll allow you to play this because I know that mentally you have the capacity to understand and realize where this is at.
And that's really the what it boils down to is, have you explained to your child the difference between fantasy and reality, and do they have a grasp on those concepts?
Now, would I let
because if you haven't, then it really doesn't matter the age.
Now, would I let a 5-6-year-old play Mortal Kombat? Absolutely not.
No, hell no.
Get out of here. No. That's not happening.
11 at the earliest. Yeah, I'll give you that. 11 at the earliest.
And another question is, as a parent, do you care? Because there are some parents out there, not all, but some who just don't.
Right, but hold on. Before we get to that one, somebody could argue me and say, oh man, but you were like 8 or 9 when you played Mortal Kombat. I just been said, Mortal Kombat back then was different.
Yep.
It wasn't as graphic, as detailed. Yeah, it was still violent. Sure.
Right.
But it still looked like a video game. And that's what I want to get at.
Graphically, now, these games look more realistic.
Exactly. Y la impresión que eso puede dejar en un niño. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I could really leave a mark. You know? But if you know that mentally they're fine, that they'll be fine, that they understand,
they can handle it,
then go ahead.
Fine, yeah.
Then go ahead.
Yeah. You know, let them play it. But like I said, if you don't care, then you don't care. You know, like I said, there are some parents who don't care what their kids do.
Yeah.
Because they're not home.
Yeah, and then when something does happen, they want to point the fingers at television, at even sports figures,
sports
figures at the schools. Somebody, right?
And I just been said before you came on air, Ness. I said, listen, NetherRealm Studios ain't your guardian, ain't your parent, ain't your endorser, ain't. All they are is a video game developer.
Yes.
And all they're doing is trying to make a living.
You know what? They're gonna make money anyway.
You, sir, who inserted your love pump inside of woman, and woman who busted out child out of womb, you're the ones that are supposed to set rules, boundaries, talk to your child, be with your child.
And by the way, these video game developers and companies have done their part to ensure that these games don't fall into the wrong hands by doing what? Placing ratings on them.
And labels. If you get a physical copy.
You know what there is on a game that's rated M? There's a big M on the cover.
Oh. Really now?
It explains why the game is rated M. Sexual
you just have to read it.
Content, alcohol references, language, blood,
violence.
So please, the hell out of here with that.
They have a rating system on these games for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
So that they are not held liable for your child reenacting something they saw on a video game.
Oh
Correct.
my god, I didn't know this game was so violent.
Did you bother to check the rating?
Rating? What are you talking about?
Every game is rated for different age groups.
Really? You don't say. Where is that rating, man?
It's on the cover, man. On the cover of the physical copies, and you can also look at the ratings on their website.
Well, I'll go check with little Randy when I get home.
Mm-hmm.
Sure you are. You're gonna get home, complain about how much of a you-know-what your boss was to you that day. You're gonna pay some bills, sit down, eat your popcorn, and watch Netflix, and forget about that discussion.
Thank you very much.
Exactly.
That's what you're gonna do.
Oh, because my kids are at home playing video games, so it's okay. They could just hang out in their room and play video games. What happens when they get older? When they grow up, they become, not all, but some become loners, and that's dangerous.
Very dangerous, because you don't know what it is they're thinking, what they might do.
Right.
Listen, I spent numerous hours with my boy Chris. Shout out to you, Chris. I spent numerous hours playing video games with him. Listen, he basically lived with me when we was kids. We do nothing but play video games to a certain extent. We would also go out. We would do things, you know, engage in outdoor activities. Come on. You know, how many people nowadays do you know, in terms of kids and teens, how many of them are saying, "Hey, yo, dog, let's go to Jacob's and buy a hoagie"? Come on, man. Let's us and the group go. Come on, call the crew.
Not many.
I know one person who does that.
That does sound good right about now too, man.
Oh yeah,
it definitely does.
Hey, speaking of sandwiches, did you know Subway has a brisket sandwich?
Wait,
you who have never tried brisket?
At the expense of sounding
at Subway.
At the expense of sounding ignorant, what is a brisket?
Brisket is this type of meat that's very tender. I don't remember from where it is. But it's very tender and it's smothered with barbecue sauce and onions and pickles. It's so good.
Boy, you know how to sell it, man. I want some of that now.
It's nice. Oh my gosh, it's so good.
Hey, you hear that? Yo, you catch that, bro? It's smothered in barbecue. No.
Now, Ness.
Yo.
If you were to choose a vacation spot, right? Would you rather go to London, to Britain, to England, or to the UK?
Gosh. You guys.
I think I'd rather go to London.
You guys. London is the capital of England. We've gone over this.
London. Yeah.
We've gone over this.
I don't know. I think I like England better than Britain. What about you, Ness?
I think so too. Yeah. Wait a minute. Wait. If London is the capital of England, then what part of London is capitalized? Is it just the L or is it the entire
L? The L. The L.
Listen, we love you guys from the UK. I watch you guys at Wrestle Talk. What's up, man? What's going on, Ollie Davis?
What's up,
shout
Ollie
out to
Davis?
the UK.
Oh man, but Ness, you
Long
wanted
live
to
the Queen, y'all. Long live the Queen.
You wanted to sound off on some football. So let me give you the stage here.
Where to begin? I'm not even going to get into that horrible game that that was like ages ago because there's nothing really to talk about there. It was terrible. It was bad. It was really bad. It was a nightmare. It was bad.
Oh, the Super Bowl sucked.
Halftime didn't, though.
Apparently that was the word. The halftime show is not supposed to be better than the game.
No. I'm not even talking about that halftime show.
I heard. Yeah, the other halftime show.
The other halftime show. It was awesome. Go check it out on the WWE Network.
For $9.99.
Cheap plug.
For $9.99.
$9.99? Are you out of your mind?
I think we should start with Kareem.
Woo! So yesterday we got some news here about Kareem Hunt. As we all know, he was released from the Chiefs in...
It was mid-season, give or take.
Towards the end of the year, about December, I believe it was.
Yeah.
November. Early December, late November.
Yeah.
Because of an altercation that he had with a woman at a club somewhere, I believe it was.
Now, initially, people were sounding off and screaming abuse, right?
Right.
Initially.
But this was not... Initially, the reaction was, oh, woman beater. But as we come to find out, this particular woman had no prior affiliation to Kareem Hunt whatsoever. This was just somebody who just took it upon herself to just, spew out racial slurs and then assault Kareem Hunt, which he then proceeded to defend himself.
Correct.
Jeez.
Now, under that roof, I say, well, why wouldn't you and why shouldn't you?
Yeah.
Right. Now, obviously, the reason he ended up getting cut by the Chiefs because he lied about what happened.
Right.
When they saw the video, then the video told a different story. Mm-hmm. But I also wonder how true that is, because, I mean, we found this out, like the rest of us found this out about 9 months later, and this happened in January, but that's neither here nor there.
Well, it's a good... That's a good thing to ponder on, though, bro, because let's not forget how sketchy the NFL is.
Yeah, when it comes to these kind of things, yeah. They are kind of sketchy. So, yesterday, the Cleveland Browns picked him up.
Too soon.
Now, mind you, too soon. Mind you, he has yet to serve any sort of suspension whatsoever, so I don't know why. That's my only problem with this is the timing of this.
Yeah.
So when you hear people talk about, well, hey, I believe he should get a second chance. When somebody gets picked up before serving any sort of suspension, that's not a second chance. That's more of a slap on the wrist. That's more of a, okay, don't do it again, okay?
Right.
Yeah, but the question is...
Your second chance hasn't been served on a platter until you've passed whatever sentence you need to pass through.
Right. I don't think they gave him one. From what it sounds like.
Well, this is part of the reason why we're saying that it's a little bit too early to sign him because judgment been passed yet.
Because he is going to serve a suspension.
Yeah. No ruling has been given over this yet.
Yeah, they haven't actually handed down his suspension yet, but they will. So to sign him now, beforehand,
sure about
is
that,
just a little too soon.
I mean, are you sure that they'll hand him down a suspension? Like you said, it's a slap on the wrist.
No.
They will.
They will.
Of course they will, because at the end of the day, they need to save face.
Yes. Mm-hmm. You don't want to botch this one.
It's all about saving face.
So that's pretty... Am I surprised that the Browns picked up Kareem Hunt? No, because he's an extraordinary talent.
Hey, anyone should pick him up. Why not? Why would you want to squander that? Yes. But again, you should have waited a little bit.
My only problem with it was it was way too soon. He hadn't even faced any sort of suspension yet. And they know he's facing one.
Hold on, sir. Don't mean to keep you hanging. I'm about to gulp some water.
Okay. Down the hatch. Go ahead. Chug, 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 chug.
Oh, you want audio of it? All right, hold on.
Yeah.
There we go. There we go. Down the hatch. Down the hatch. Yeah.
All right.
Since
we're doing that,
I just swallowed more than your typical lady.
Oh. Since we're doing that, now it's my turn.
Let's kill the audio.
Okay. Bottoms up. Come on. Hey.
You see, there's a problem. There's a problem though. There's a problem though in the way that you did it versus how I did it. See, I was much better because people could actually see me.
Oh my gosh, really? You were just swallowing water.
You see?
What's so great about swallowing? No.
You can't see me. Huh?
You listen to me, John China.
You can't see me. I'm even doing the little wave.
You listen to me, John China. Okay?
That's right. That's right.
Right. Just because you were chugging water, I mean, like, that's something to see? Seriously?
Yeah.
Come on.
Shout outs to Dakota Prescott.
Yeah, so that with the Kareem Hunt thing, that's my only issue. They signed him way too soon. But am I surprised that somebody picked him up? Absolutely not. No, not one bit. Of course.
No, of course not.
Yeah, but I agree with you.
Am I surprised that the Browns jumped out on this a little too soon? Absolutely not either, because they're a model of dysfunction. That's what they do.
Well, yeah, and what does that spell? Desperateness.
Pretty much.
Oh.
Desperateness.
It's the Browns.
Yeah. Appropriate name, the Browns, because, that's the color of Ish.
I knew you were going there. I knew it.
How appropriate.
I was waiting.
How appropriate.
Shout out to any Browns fans tuning in.
We love you guys.
Man.
Woo.
You hear the sincerity behind that one?
Oh yes,
Oh, yeah.
yes. I can tell. I can hear it. I can feel it in the air.
So, bro, since we're on some football talk right now, let me ask you this question. I want to know exactly, what do you think of Skip Bayless?
He's unbelievably hilarious at times.
I watched Skip Bayless on Fox 1, and half the time I'm saying to myself, what in the world drugs is you on, child?
Wait, he's not on ESPN no more?
No, he's on FS. He's on Fox now.
Is he doing his own show?
Yep. Yeah, he's doing Undisputed alongside Shannon Sharp.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, let me tell you something, Skip Bayless.
Skip Bayless is probably the biggest Brady nut hugger that exists.
Oh, yes. Listen, let me ask this man right here. Ness, who is my favorite quarterback?
Tom Brady. Oh, wait, no. Thomas Edward Patrick Brady.
Oh, wow. All that? Really? All that?
You forgot one factor, though. You forgot to do the...
Oh, yeah. That's right. Yeah. I'll leave that to you. Go ahead. But yeah, your favorite quarterback is Tom Brady.
Yeah, my favorite quarterback is Tom Brady. That's how Skip Bayless with the... But see, I'm not obsessed with him either. I've quoted him when he's been wrong, when I felt that he's not on par with what I believe. I've called him a public relations puppet. you know, or alluded that he's one, because he is.
Yeah.
It's like, yo, Brady, would it hurt you to be a little bit controversial? Show a little color, be a little bit. Stop being so proper for the camera, bruh. And listen.
Thank you.
Listen, this whole idea of, oh my God, it's so repulsive when people call me a goat, bruh. Who the hell are you trying to fool?
Okay,
Goat?
so Crystal, get
Greatest
this, okay?
Greatest of all time.
Oh, okay.
The other day, he was doing an interview with Michael Strahan.
Uh-huh.
And when
Scary
Strahan
man.
asked him, hey, man, how do
Scary man.
Yes, he was. He was a freaking nightmare, and we all remember him as a nightmare. I believe he's a Hall of Famer, if I'm not mistaken. But
Yeah, right.
Deservedly so.
Yeah.
So he was Tom Brady was doing an interview with Michael Strahan. And when Strahan asked him, hey, listen, how does it feel for people to recognize you as the GOAT? And he says, it makes me cringe. But then he goes on to say, on the other hand, I am driven by criticism. I want people to tell me I'm too old, I'm too this, I'm too that.
Now,
But it makes you cringe?
Now, I could.
But it makes him cringe to be called the GOAT.
Now, I could absolutely stand on that hill with you in regards to, listen, let criticism be what feeds me. Yes, let criticism be the driving force behind me saying, oh yeah, watch this. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
But, for example, you guys know that Ness and I, we have done music tracks, we produce, and Crystal has appeared on a few tracks with me as well. Yeah, if I were to walk up to Ness, and I'm just any old Joe, you know, he don't know me from ish, and I were to tell him, yo, Ness, what's up, man? It's a pleasure to meet you. Yo, I like your work on YouTube, but I think you's a bomb producer. How would you meet
I'm gonna
that?
Cringe.
Oh, please.
Outwardly, I would be modest. Inwardly, I'd be like, yeah.
Yeah, you know, that's the same
Appreciate
way. Now,
that, yeah.
I suck at taking compliments, but the best I do is I say, well, I try. Now, inside, I'm having a big ass parade.
Exactly, because essentially you appreciate the compliment. You're like, thank you.
Hell yeah. You know, you put your chest out a little bit. Like, yeah, look at me. You know what I'm saying?
You know,
It's
Speaking of
There's
unrealistic.
nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with a person who be feeling themselves a little bit.
Yes.
right. The other day, speaking of compliments, we were listening to a live version of George Michael, and I told Mo, I said, is that you? He's like, no, it's George Michael. I'm like, but it's that what?
You know, and it totally went over my head that she thought that George Michael was my voice, you know, until it just, I'm like, oh, wait. You know?
Yeah, he totally changed. Like, oh, what? Wow.
You know,
Did it make you cringe?
oh, yeah, bro.
Oh, yeah, it made him cringe.
You know,
Yeah.
it made me regurgitate and you know, projectile vomiting ensued.
Well, listen, I know for a fact that Tom Brady is driven by criticism. I know that for a fact. You know that for a fact. We've seen it.
Of course.
Which is why I don't believe at all that when somebody acknowledges him as the GOAT, he cringes. You kidding me?
Please,
No,
bro.
shut up.
You know what? You know what Stephen A. told Skip Bayless one time, right? He said,
Go ahead.
"Please." All right.
Exactly.
I hit
Man,
the button,
please.
folks. I hit the button.
Man, please get out of here.
Yeah. Please.
Because if you're driven by criticism, then part of what you're trying to accomplish is proving people wrong.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's part of what you're trying to accomplish.
You see?
That satisfaction of having the same people who said, you're too old, you're too slow, you don't have it anymore, to turn around and say to you, man, you're the greatest.
I think that avocado ice cream is getting to Tom Brady.
Could be.
Avocado ice cream.
Now, shout out to my dad, speaking of avocado ice cream, because I wish I could have filmed his reaction to when I told him that Tom Brady be eating up gallons of avocado ice cream. He was like, his reaction was more or less like my reaction, in essence of, what?
Wow.
That sounds so nasty.
It does.
And then he kind of quoted you there, Ness. He said, well, I like avocado, I like ice cream, but avocado ice cream?
That's just nasty. That's gross. Ew.
No, thank you. No, thank you.
No.
Sit down with that.
That's just
No, it'd be different if I have like a plate of arroz con gandule y pernil con aguacate, you know, and then some ice cream for dessert. Okay.
Yo, ¿y la música dónde se fue?
Oh, adiós. Oye, ¿y la música dónde se fue?
¿Dónde se fue? That's what I was thinking. Se fue.
Shout out to... Yo, what's up, Dan Romero? Shout out. Shout out, brother. Let's
a blast from the past.
That's right.
But yeah, I do not believe that he cringes when somebody acknowledges that he is the GOAT.
Of course
I mean,
not.
Here's a guy who wasn't even supposed to get to this level. He wasn't even supposed to have this much success.
Really?
He was a 6th round draft pick.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
Now he's at the top of Mount Rushmore.
Wow. That's really awesome. And wow. That's really cool. But yeah, he's not all like, I cringe, please.
Oh, I cringe.
He's like
full of it, man. He's full of it.
He's inside, he's going, yep, I know.
He's like, yeah, I know. I mean, hey, it was reported that the week of the AFC Championship game, he walked into the locker room and said, I'm the baddest mofo on the planet.
Baddest, yeah.
Oh,
so
yeah,
with
right.
that said, how are we supposed to believe that when somebody strokes your ego, you don't be feeling yourself a little bit? Come on, bro.
Thank you very much.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
For real.
Come on, please, man, please, Ninja, please.
Yeah, when you're in a particular craft and you are at the top of your game and you've exceeded even your contemporaries.
Yeah.
It's hard not for you to feel yourself a little bit.
Prime example.
And that's okay.
Prime example. We get done with some of our shows at times, and I go back to these guys, and I'm like, "Yo, we killed that production."
Yeah, exactly.
Or, you guys really sound great. I'm going, thank you. Inside, I'm going, yes.
Come on, man.
Exactly.
Really?
Modest outward, parade inward.
But that's okay. Yeah. You know, it's okay.
And that's okay.
That's okay.
Because that's realistic. That's real. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not a full-blown. It's not an inflated ego. No pun intended.
Uh-huh.
Now, anything else football-wise, sir?
The other story that came out yesterday was Eric Reed, who signed a 3-year extension with the Carolina Panthers. Why is this a story? Why is this even relevant? Well, because Eric Reed is the one who kneeled alongside Colin Kaepernick.
Yes.
And that's really the only reason Eric Reed's name is in the limelight to begin with. Because he's a middle-of-the-pack at best defensive back.
Mm-hmm.
But the reason this is a story is because, as we all know, Colin Kaepernick has a lawsuit against the NFL for collusion. This now weakens his case. they're going to use this again. The NFL is going to use this as a defense to say, see,
right.
He kneeled and we signed him.
Exactly.
Even though they know that the faces of their league are quarterbacks, not defensive backs.
Because ain't nobody paying attention to no DB.
No. If Eric Reed had started this, nobody would have given a rat's ass less. Nobody would have cared. Nobody would have cared.
There's very few teams where the quarterback isn't necessarily front and center. Dallas Cowboys,
very few.
Ezekiel Elliott.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's talking about Prescott.
No.
You know. Who do you associate the Patriots with? Tom Brady. Who do you associate the Packers with? Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers.
You know.
Who do you associate the Panthers with? Now, since we're talking about the Panthers, who do we associate them with?
Cam
Newton. Now, if Cam Newton had done this,
whoa.
What do you think the backlash would have been? The same. It would have been exactly the same.
Front and center, bro, on every page of Sports Illustrated.
And if you don't believe me, think about the backlash from his from when he kind of
when he did
talked down to that one female reporter.
Yeah.
Oh, the backlash of that. Just that alone.
Well, it seemed like everything he did that particular year brought some sort of a backlash with it.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy couldn't even breathe on you without it being reported.
Yeah.
Wow.
Truth.
But we all know how this works. They're going to use this to say, see, we signed Eric Reed, and he kneeled. So we didn't collude against Kaepernick.
But bro, it always goes back to saving face.
Exactly.
And this is further an example of how sketchy the NFL, how shaky they are.
Mm-hmm.
Or as people back when used to say, man, that's some grimy-ish.
Yeah.
Which it is.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to sit here and I've been watching the NFL since I was a wee little baby. Yeah, sure.
Of course.
I'm not going to sit here and support every decision that they make just because. Please.
Yeah, because as we see here, the quarterback has always been the face of the league.
Yes.
It's the most important position in the sport.
Exactly.
Eric Reed is not a quarterback.
Now, he's known
Michael
to
Bennett
a certain
is not
extent.
a quarterback. Malcolm Jenkins is not a quarterback.
Right. These are faces that are recognized.
Who joined in afterwards.
These are faces that are recognized, but they're not. But they're not right.
But they're not quarterbacks. So they could make the argument of, well, see, Eric Reed kneeled and we signed him.
But he's not the centerpiece of that team.
Yeah, he's not. And there's not a shortage of defensive backs. However, there is a shortage of talented quarterbacks.
Correct. Mm-hmm.
Now, the Panthers recently are under new ownership now because, as we all know, the previous owner had to sell the team because of some sketchy behavior on his part.
There we go.
Now, this new owner, he wanted to play progressive and decided to take a chance on Eric Reed. Really? Eric Reed? Really? How about getting a backup for Cam Newton?
You know what a lot of people say? I'm over here going, well, who the hell is he anyway?
Mm-hmm.
I think that the way to prepare your team for scenarios, you give your starting quarterback a good backup. Because a team without a QB, come on, what are you? What are you?
When we talk about the great quarterbacks here, who the hell are their backups? Who's Aaron Rodgers' backup?
You know, I'm gonna ask you the question, right, bro?
Go ahead.
Since we're on backups, how do you feel about your backup? And
Ooh, that's a good segue.
And what people have been saying in regards to Foles versus
the Foles wins conversation, or some people might view it as a controversy.
Of course.
I see it. Here's how I see it. Foles is a great insurance policy.
Obviously.
In any other team, he'd be a starter. For us, he's a great insurance policy.
Mm-hmm.
And he's proven to be that, a great insurance policy. Last year, he was a great insurance policy. How people forget, Carson Wentz was in the discussion for MVP candidate. He was an MVP candidate last year, before he got injured.
Is it fair
to people say, "Oh, Nick Foles led us to the Super Bowl"? No, he didn't.
Obviously, I know the answer to this, but why is it not fair to throw jabs at Wentz? If you could elaborate on that.
Well, again, he's still in his prime right now. The only knock on him is that the only legitimate knock on him is that he's been injured. He's a little bit injury prone.
Now, there are many people who would take what you've said and say, well, Foles was the one who led us to the Super Bowl. Now, I would turn around and say, yeah, but who drove the majority of the way?
Exactly.
Yeah?
I said, Foles took us the rest of the way, but he didn't lead us there.
Right.
Carson Wentz was an MVP candidate before he got hurt. Mm-hmm. We were 11-2. Mm-hmm. We were about to clinch the 1 seed. We had a hellacious defense. We had an explosive offense.
Yeah, secondary, man.
Secondary was weak. Yeah.
I keep going to that.
Yeah, that was a bit of a problem. And when you really think about it, Foles really had 2 great games last year. NFC title game and the Super Bowl.
Right. Which again, a lot of people...
He played slightly above average at best.
But then there would be some who say, oh, but at least he won those games and he absolutely played lights out when it mattered. Well, playing lights out when it matters and being a leader are 2 different things.
Exactly.
Because playing lights out when it matters means you're inconsistent. You're not as dependent as you should be.
Which he was. He was inconsistent. He played, the game against Atlanta, the divisional round game.
Great example.
He was a little shaky.
Yeah.
Thankfully, he didn't turn the ball over or anything, but he wasn't lights out.
Mm-hmm.
He was also in a position where he didn't have to lead us. He didn't have to carry the team. He just had to manage the game.
Exactly. Very, very good. Very good and valid points. But people will still be people, and people will still argue. There's no getting them out of their.
No, there's no getting them out of that. And then you have this year. This year, everything that could go wrong did go wrong. This wasn't even a Wentz thing. We had injuries left and right off the wazoo. Defense played horrifically throughout the year. We had no running game. Everything that could go wrong went wrong.
It's funny you mention this because once upon a time, the NFC East as a whole, we were the division that you wanted to be in, and we were the division that you wanted to beat.
Exactly. You know what we are now? Now we're a freaking laughingstock now.
Yeah. Oh, how the tides have changed, how the times have changed.
Yep.
Now, I'm not going to stand here and say that we are never going to go back to that promised land, because never say never.
It looks promising that we could go back to that. Yeah.
Not to mention, how many championships have we won collectively?
13.
Thank you very much.
Which is more than any other division in the league.
Thank you very much.
Woo, that's right.
We can
Hashtag Dynasty, yeah.
We can at least be proud of that one.
Absolutely. Yeah.
At least.
But my point of view on the Foles wins conversation is Foles is a great insurance policy. He's the Mariano Rivera of our team.
Mariano Rivera, damn.
Mariano Rivera wasn't a starting pitcher, but he would come in and close it out for you.
Mm-hmm.
That's what he did. Whenever David Wells, he put in 7+ innings, you bring in Mariano Rivera, boom, close the deal.
These are great names, man.
Baseball, right?
Yes.
Right on, yeah.
Got one. Yes.
Yes.
Right on.
Got one. Yay.
Hey. Yeah.
All right, that's all right.
I see you.
But this particular season, everything that could go wrong for us went wrong for us. We were too arrogant. We played mediocre at best.
Ow.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Wait a minute.
Hey. Uh-oh.
Hey, drop the mic. Drop the mic. Drop the mic, Kev. Come on, drop it low now. Oh.
Am I?
Yeah, there you go. You good.
Am I still on?
Yes.
Yeah. You're still on.
You
okay?
Hold on.
Are you all right?
Yeah, I'm good.
That'll be in our bloopers segment.
And this segment was brought to you by Slip and Slide, where every day we take it to the house.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Hold on, I'm pressing buttons here.
You alright, bro?
Yeah, I'm good.
Right.
You sure you're okay?
Yeah, no, the mic just tipped over, man.
You had Ness over there going, drop the mic.
Hey, that's right. So yeah, everything that could go wrong for us did go wrong for us. We were too arrogant for our own good. We played mediocre at best. And we were lucky to even get into the playoffs this year. We shouldn't even been in.
Yo, where the hell?
Language, sir.
You good? Technical difficulties? You alright?
Technical.
I'm trying to figure out the board here.
What?
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 The mixer board. Hold on, it disactivated. Because the music is coming out. Yes, you guys could hear it and all, but I'm trying to activate the. Hold on a second here.
Oh,
but I can't hear it. So.
Oh no!
Oh.
Hold on a second.
Yeah, because we hear it.
Yeah, we hear
it's coming
it. Yeah,
it's coming in on our end. Yeah.
Yes. Are we still streaming?
Yeah, we're still streaming.
Yeah. We're still streaming, and we're having a live tech session here.
Yeah.
Don't you just love being live?
Oh, it's great.
Mm-hmm.
1, 2.
Here we go.
I can hear everything. Hold on, let me see. That was great.
What a return, huh?
That was great.
No, that's my effects panel.
All right. getting back under control here. Here we go.
I thought I thought you disoriented yourself or something when you said you were trying to figure out the board. What?
Well, I am.
That's what I thought too. I'm like, wait, what?
1 2 1 2 1 2 1 1.
And when the mic tipped over, it discombobulated everything.
It discombobulated everything.
Oh crap! The music still playing?
Yes, it's fading out.
Now, yep, now, yeah, it's fading out. Yeah, now it's out.
Now it's starting up again.
Now it's starting up again?
Yes.
There you go.
There you go.
Alright, let me see something here.
I like this, yeah, kind of chill. Please enjoy the music while your party is reached.
Hey, I like that.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah!
It's kind of like a Mary J track.
Kind of, sort of.
You know, I can see her on there.
Yeah. I can see that.
Yeah.
1 1 1 1.
Ladies and gentlemen, this particular segment is brought to you by Tech One. Tech One, that's right.
Oh god, what a crappy rapper. 1 1, here we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, this
Here we
segment
go.
is brought to you by the number 1.
The number one.
The number one.
Yeah!
There we go, I figured it
What's
out.
the matter, bro? You don't like Tech One? You don't know? You don't like Tech One?
No, I'm not really a
I've
fan.
never heard of him.
There we go, okay.
It's okay.
I've heard of
Sorry.
I've heard of Tech 9.
Okay. I can't wait to hear the playback to that one. All right. There we go.
Yeah, we might be able to use that soundbite for something in the future.
Something, yeah.
See.
Yeah, basically. And it's funny because Ness was all in the zone and everything, and all of a sudden, that's what you hear.
That
like,
is
oh,
priceless. Yeah.
Time to get out the zone now.
Oh my god. Let me see if my effects thing is... We're on? We're on? Yeah, we are. Okay, good.
Yes.
Yep, there we go.
Alright. Alright.
Yeah!
No, because I was able to... Okay, I couldn't hear the music, but I know the music was coming outward, and the button that I was pressing allows me to hear the song, yeah, but it didn't allow me to fade out. So now I had to press the corresponding button to get that working. But see, we got that going now.
Oh, okay, there we go.
Because this mixer has so many ins and outs, man. It's crazy.
You got a lot to work with there, yeah. Okay,
but thankfully, I've learned my way around this, so so it's cool.
It's all good. It's all good.
So now that we knocked that one out of the park, UFC is a big joke.
Yes, it is. At this point, yes, it is.
UFC is a big
now?
joke. I won't spend that much time on that. Just
in general.
Just in general, it's a joke. Dana White is twiddling his thumbs at a possible Anderson Silva versus who is it? Oh God! Yeah. Anderson Silva versus Diaz match. This dude, what the hell's his name? I'm forgetting names here. This guy, what's his name?
On what?
UFC. Oh gosh, he's very racist and political.
Connor. Oh, Kobe Covington.
Covington.
Colby Covington, yeah.
Yeah, so Covington has stated that we perhaps are not going to see him in the UFC ever again. Where's my yay button?
Yeah, so what? What the hell has he done? Like,
really? Woe is me. Oh, boo.
Yeah. Like, what the hell has he really done? Like he's not gonna be missed.
Oh, woe is me. Boo freaking who.
What? Oh, wow.
Please, give me a break, bruh.
Really?
Give me a break.
Please.
Give me a break.
And why did he make this statement? Why? Why did he make this statement? Why?
I guess because he feels that people give a flying flip about him. Do you care about Colby Covington?
No, he really hasn't done anything to make me care.
Yeah, likewise.
What has he really done?
And I meant those words. He is a racist and a political idiot too.
Really?
Yeah. Well, that kind of goes hand in hand.
I'm not even going to repeat some of the things that he said, but just know that he is he's vermin to this world.
It's well documented. Yeah. That's for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. It is what it is.
And that's pretty sad when you're known more for making outlandish and polarizing statements than you are for in-ring work. Huh. Way to go.
In-ring work. Well, before we segue to in-ring work, Crystal, everybody's been sounding off here, and I'm about to sound off too, but I want you to sound off on Braille.
Braille?
Ooh, really?
Yes.
Ooh, can I do Braille books?
I did say Braille.
You can do Braille books, Braille writers.
Okay. So here's my thing about Braille books.
Okay. What about them?
I wouldn't call it a rant. I just would call it it's not fair. The reason why I say that is because sighted people can go to a library, a local library in their town or city, and pick out a book. Right?
Yes.
Yep.
Visually impaired people or blind people cannot do that.
Correct.
They have to either have a very expensive Braille display, which they probably couldn't afford.
$2,000.
Most likely, yeah.
Or more.
Or more.
The Brilliant, I believe, is going for $4 from
The
Freedom.
what? The Brilliant? Is that what they call that?
What
Sounds
is
like
that?
the name of an old car.
That is the name of a Braille display that Freedom Scientific is selling.
Is it brilliant?
I picture like somebody in the 70s.
Apparently, yes, it is.
Trying to
Because
approach a girl and say, "Hey, babe, you want to take a ride in my Brilliant?"
Because you can.
that's brilliant, hon. Yeah.
Because you can connect up to 10 Bluetooth devices to it.
Oh,
Whatever. Anyway,
So.
back to my little. It's not fair.
go ahead.
Or you have to call your local library and ask for a book. And when you ask them for a book, if they have it, they tell you, we're waiting for Braille containers to ship them in. So you have to wait about a week or two to get this book that you want. That isn't fair.
It's not fair.
It's not fair.
I was just thinking that too.
It's not fair because, like I said, sighted people can just go to a bookstore or go to a local library and check out a book.
Just pick out a book.
Well, it's not
Pick
fair.
it out, check it out, and yeah.
Yeah, we can't.
Where we have to go through all these extra backdoor channels and crap just to get
we need to call the local the blind library, make sure they could issue us the book that we want. Yeah. Wait a couple of days. It's not like we can read it right off right there and then, unless you're going digital. But sometimes you want to hold something in your hand. You want that. You want that one-on-one with the book.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Digital's fine. It's great. But sometimes, what if you
sometimes you just want a physical copy?
Yeah. What if sometimes you don't want to download it? Or what if sometimes you don't want to pick up your iPad and have somebody read it to you?
Oh, yeah.
What if you just want to get it yourself, And I was actually talking to a reader consultant. They might as well call them librarians. That's what they're called. They're called.
Isn't that what they are? Isn't that the same thing?
Yes. So I was talking to her, and she said, "I agree with you." She said, because I'm a huge Braille reader. There's a new law that came into effect in 2015. Mm-hmm. Books must be available for all.
For all.
And yes, for all. And
for all. Y'all hear that?
Yes.
For
everyone.
All.
And books for all. Yes.
Yes. And so National Library Service is making a Braille display that you could check out from the library. But it'll probably be 2-3 years in the making because they're testing it out right now. Perkins is actually the developer of it.
2-3 years in the making?
Yes.
This day and age?
Yes. Now, it could be sooner than that, but that's what they're estimating.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. Because not everyone can afford an expensive Braille display. Not everyone has $2,000 to $4,000 laying around.
I wouldn't think so, no.
And secondly, why should you even have to go through the trouble of paying that much damn money for a display?
Exactly.
Exactly.
That just doesn't... That's just ridiculous.
Yeah. Yep. It is.
So how would you... I don't know, how or what would you do to make Braille books available and ready same day for those who are Braille readers?
Have them at your local library. Your local library.
You would think the one place that they would have them would be the library. Yeah?
Yes, have them there.
That is such a simple solution. But you know what? Some might argue. Oh man, but what about the storage, dog? Braille books take up so much more space than their print counterparts.
Yes, they do.
I'm sorry, I didn't realize libraries were such confined space.
Exactly. Thank you.
You make room. That's all.
Thank you. It's like, okay, case in point, having a blind student in a regular ed school.
Oh boy.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What do the teachers do when they get Braille books? They just make more room for them.
Yes. They find a little shelf,
They put them in a shelf in the back of the class.
Well, yeah, with no hesitation they do that.
Yeah.
And that's a school. So you mean tell me that a library can't do the same?
Which is filled...
a place that specifically houses books.
Yeah, there's a cluster of books and shelves in that building.
Exactly. And, yeah, but then you could say, but it costs too much to produce. The only thing that's expensive is the embosser.
Everything else, yeah, pretty much.
And you could get Duxbury or something like that.
Duxbury, wow.
Damn.
People still use that,
past.
Damn.
It's improved a lot.
Yeah, people still use a brailer too, yeah.
Well, now they have electronic ones. You know that, right?
What is an electronic brailer?
It's With it's got a braille display at the bottom. It's kind of like a braille light.
What?
Yeah,
Really?
Perkins has them.
Yeah.
So why not just call it a braille light?
I bet you they cost an arm and a leg too.
In bulk they don't. Individually they do. If you have like a school that buys them, they get a discount.
Individually, of course.
Well, yeah, because if you have bulk, then you can get a discount.
That's another thing. Why aren't these things affordable?
Yeah, you think they would be because these are things that we need. Oh, you know what? You know why? Because there's not that much supply and demand for it. So to make up for the lost, right? So to make up for the lost revenue, they have to up the ante, man.
Yeah, that's Yep.
That's why they do it.
Yeah.
Does it make sense? Yes. Should they really go about it that way? No, because more people could be buying your products. Because you're still not fulfilling every blind individual's needs.
That's right.
And secondly, it's actually something that is needed. It's not like it's a frivolous product, like some kind of name brand crap.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
It's actually an essential product. It's not like,
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah.
Like I said at the beginning of the show, let's stop being so damn complex.
Yes.
Seriously.
Is that so hard to do? Why do we have to be so damn complex with everything?
Mm-hmm.
Making a mountain out of a molehill, man. Makes no sense.
Seriously.
Huh.
Speaking of mountains.
So,
go ahead.
Wait, I have a question.
Go ahead.
Why is everybody sounding off on Braille? What happened?
Yeah, what'd I miss?
Sounding off on Braille.
Yeah, you said everybody's sounding off on Braille.
No, I didn't. You're hearing things.
No, I think he said we're all sounding off on something around here today. Yeah.
Oh, okay, got it. Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
Sounding off / kind of, venting a little bit about whatever, what have you.
Okay.
Yeah, you kind of confused me. I'm like, what? Anyway.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to confuse you.
Speaking of mountains.
But speaking of but I have a question for you, Crystal. Are you offended by the Bird Box challenge?
Oh, that's a good one.
Are you offended?
A really good one.
Do you find it offensive?
I haven't put thought onto it, but I could initially say that I'm not. But I'd like to know what Crystal thinks.
I must be under a rock because I've never heard of that.
It's on Netflix.
Okay, so during the holidays, right? Mm-hmm. During the Christmas holiday, the Bird Box created a buzz. Mm-hmm. One of the things that caused outrage amongst the blind community was this Bird Box challenge, which is basically a challenge of people doing things blindfolded, like, I don't know, like crossing the street, other idiotic things like that. There was so much outrage over that, so much ire and vitriol, like, how dare them do this, yada yada.
Wow.
So, what do you think?
I don't care. They want to do that, cool. Whatever.
Thank you very much.
They want to find out what it's like to, they want to walk around blindfolds, go for it, I don't care.
They want to do things to put themselves in danger? Okay, knock yourself out.
Yeah, but me personally, I'm not going to be offended. For what?
Why?
You're not offending me. You're not personally attacking me, my situation, my race.
Okay, well, here's the question then. If that were the case, how come nobody was offended when Jamie Foxx played Ray in the movie?
Because it's a movie.
He wore blindfolds. Yeah,
but because it's a movie, you're not doing every life situational things. That's why.
Oh, okay.
Because it has that tag of it's a movie attached to it, ain't nobody gonna be offended. But because this is everyday, because this is everyday people. But Bird Box is it's a movie on Netflix.
Oh, I should check it out.
basically, to put it in layman's terms, it's basically dealing with some sort of a pandemic which strips people of their vision. And in the movie, you see people going about, doing day-to-day things or trying to do day-to-day things without the visual. So.
But no, it doesn't offend me one bit that people want to go out there and do idiotic things to put themselves in danger. No, that doesn't offend me one bit.
So blind people and visually impaired people are offended by this?
Offended with the fact that people would want to follow suit and try to play Bird Box.
Yeah.
If it gives them an educational glimpse of what we face, go for it. Why would you be offended by that?
Exactly.
Because they take it as some sort of attack. That's why they're offended.
But they're not attacking you. They're not attacking you.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, okay, they want to be stupid and do things blindfolded? Okay, knock themselves out. Okay.
Expletive, idiots.
Thank you very much.
I like this song.
That is just cool.
I do too.
Now.
You say you like this song and it just faded out?
Here we go.
What you got? What do you got?
Oh, boy. All right. All right, Mr. Winslow.
Yeah, that's how he laughed.
Yeah. All right, Mr. Winslow, what do you have?
Hey, I did a good impression of him. I could also do impressions of him.
Hey, Doug Funny.
Yeah.
Looks like you're
Roger
in big,
Klotz.
looks like you're in big trouble this time, Doug Funny.
Yeah.
Don't forget about Hey Funny. That's my favorite.
Hey, Funny.
Yeah.
But let's start with All Elite.
Yes.
The pre-sale, all right, for those who signed up to get tickets to attend the May 25th All Elite event in Las Vegas.
Viva Las Vegas!
Exactly.
Woo!
Now, when they announced this on Thursday, that people were eligible to register for the pre-sale, which took place yesterday, there was such demand, there was such an uproar that they crashed the website. The All Elite website crashed.
Yep.
Wow!
Now normally when you hear the website crashed, oh damn, the website.
Whoa!
In this case, it's a good thing.
Yeah, it is.
For what that's worth.
Yeah.
Now, the general public sales, I believe, take place either tomorrow or Thursday. But there have already been 14,000 plus tickets sold.
Oh my gosh.
In less than 30 minutes yesterday. And that's just the pre-sale people.
Wow.
There were people booking hotels, people flying from other countries.
Wow.
I'm telling you.
Wow.
But yet, Vince McMahon wants to run and give off this facade of we ain't never scared.
What?
We ain't never scared.
What?
But yet, he wants to tie down his people to 5-year contracts, multi-million-dollar contracts, so that they won't scurry on over to AEW. AEW have said, we don't necessarily need WWE people. We could build our brand as is. Cody Rhodes has said, yes, my dad started up a wrestling business once upon a time. He wasn't that successful, but Vince, I am coming for your head.
Cody said that?
Yes.
Where's that drop the mic soundbite? That would have been perfect.
That's what Cody Rhodes said.
Wow.
But yet, they want to say that they ain't scared.
They are.
You go to a WWE event, they tell you to take off your t-shirt if it's a representative of AEW, while meanwhile AEW have said no matter if you show up here with an AEW shirt, with an Okada shirt who represents NJPW, if you show up in a Triple H shirt, we will never tell you to take the shirt off your back.
Okada.
Kenny Omega has said, I am open to work with every wrestling organization in the world, including WWE. Now, the only way that WWE and AEW will work together is when Vince croaks. Because I know that Triple H would be open to that idea.
Of course he would.
I know that. But the fact that WWE is driven by Vince McMahon, the fact that Vince McMahon is a stubborn old man who has no clue of what he wants to do with his talent, with his company. It's no surprise, folks, that in recent memory, WWE Raw especially has scored the lowest of the low in recent memory. Fightful, big up to Sean Rossap, leaked out a chart which basically demonstrated that viewership has declined, live attendance to house shows have declined. Oh, I'm sorry, live events have declined. The feeling is that there's not much interest with WWE in regards to Monday Night Raw or anything main roster related.
No, because you know why?
Go ahead.
It's garbage.
Now, yesterday on Raw, as you wrestling fans know, we've been seeing this program between Becky Lynch and Ronda Rousey. And I'm not going to recap on it, but the feeling amongst general wrestling fans was that should be the match, that should be main event in WrestleMania, and I definitely agree. Charlotte Flair's name should not be inserted in there because one-on-one feels very special when you're talking Becky Lynch versus Ronda Rousey. Becky Lynch taking a Stone Cold Steve Austin type of attitude, being very defiant, going up against authority, slapping Triple H in the face, beating the hell out of Stephanie McMahon. I get down with that. I definitely get down with that. But the way to
also add to that point too is the one-on-one feels special, especially because it's WrestleMania.
Correct.
Yes.
It's WrestleMania, the Super Bowl of WWE.
Correct. Exactly, and those are very good and credible points. You know, but what does Vince do? Because Charlotte is in his back pocket, he inserts her into the match yesterday, and they're running an angle now that Becky Lynch is suspended for 60 days, which runs 5 days after WrestleMania. Now, I understand how that story is going to work. Becky Lynch is going to work her way back into the match, obviously. I don't know what you're watching if you don't know the predictability of how the story is going to write out. But the point is, Charlotte Flair doesn't need to be inserted in this match. You finally start getting things right, WWE, but obviously you never, ever, ever, ever listen.
Nope.
For once, could you listen to your people? For once!
And it's Vince who doesn't listen.
And you wonder why there's a bunch of unhappy people in WWE gunning for AEW.
That's why.
You wonder why a Sasha Banks expresses herself the way that she does.
Yep.
Get out of here, man. I look at AEW and what they're doing. I look at the fact that they're talking about equal pay and opportunity for their female wrestlers. I look at the fact that they discuss insurance not only for their wrestlers but any employee. You could even be the ring guy for all I know, and you're getting those benefits. I look at the fact that a Kenny Omega said that his decision to go to AEW and not WWE, in spite of the money that WWE was offering, he said AEW didn't only offer me a great sum of money, but they also are giving me creative freedom. Now, guys, y'all have heard me say this, especially last week. I told you guys, the two most important things to a wrestler: character and creativity, and paper.
Yep.
But to a lot of wrestlers, pride means more than money.
Yeah, exactly. And Chris Jericho even said Vince supported me at first with my decision, and then he didn't.
Exactly.
And I think he only supported him was because he was like, oh, he'll come back.
But he's very, very, very petty, Vince McMahon, because now Chris Jericho's face doesn't even appear. You know how in wrestling you have the introduction video that ushers in the program. You remember, right, Ness?
Yeah.
The whole oh hell yeah, WrestleMania. Those.
Yep. Yeah.
Well, well, now Chris Jericho's face doesn't even appear on that.
Really?
Now, I understand the argument could be, oh, but he's with another company. Yes, but don't disgrace everything that Jericho has been. Not only to
Correct.
wrestling, but to WWE.
Yeah. Yep.
Don't just toss that aside.
Wow.
Yeah, let's not just act like he never existed in the company. Like, that's just...
Please.
No, it's just not right.
It's wrong.
And sadly, Vince McMahon has yet to accept the fact that he no longer has a stranglehold on the wrestling landscape here in America.
He won't accept it.
What he fails to understand is that this is no longer about keeping your wrestlers tied down with money. What wrestlers want is creativity, freedom.
Right. Yep.
Treat us better. Sure, you might have our back financially. Sure, you have our back when one of us gets injured. But what about what we could showcase? What about what we've busted our ass for our whole lives?
Yeah. Yeah, like yesterday, I was watching this match with Nikki Cross. And I was thinking to myself, yeah, but it's not her in NXT.
I'm glad you mentioned NXT. Let me ask you this, guys. I'm Paul Levesque. I'm open to working with other wrestling companies. I have a brand in NXT, and I have a supplement brand to that, which is NXT UK. So I want to expand my NXT brand globally. Mm-hmm. And I find out that Vince McMahon doesn't watch NXT at all. How am I supposed to feel?
That you're not being supported.
I feel kind of betrayed, kind of disrespected, kind of like, wow, really?
He's not supporting
I'm paving the way for your company with the future of your company. And that's what
considering the personal nature of their relationship, this is how you're gonna treat,
your son-in-law,
to make it even worse.
Your son-in-law.
Yeah.
But WWE will never be WWE until Triple H has full control of it.
Correct. And that's sad.
Or if Fox forces them to become something else. Because Fox
from the
already
sound
said,
of it-
if you don't produce ratings, you're out. Fox already
Yep.
said, change to a more sports-oriented program. Because I bet you somebody on Fox, and I could be going out on a limb here, but I am willing to bet that somebody under that Fox umbrella has an eye on all other wrestling companies, and they've realized, hey, this is what wrestling should be. This is what fans are running towards. You know, what New Japan is doing, what AEW is about to do. Come on.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure they do have somebody on there who has been keeping an eye on these things.
Oh, yeah.
Come on.
Not to mention everything else that Fox has on their network.
Yeah. Sports related, yeah. So why not want to create a more sports-like atmosphere around WWE? Because, listen, I'm not asking for the Attitude Era to come back. I know generations, eras are meant to come and go, and I've sat through them all. So I know how this works. I'm not ignorant. But I also understand that all we want is wrestling, which is the name of the game. Yeah, compel us with a good story, fine, but we want wrestling.
We don't want really bad promos. We don't want people to be all like, they're not into their promos, and you know that they're not into their promos. You know, we don't want
when you have scripted promos, you get bad promos.
Yes. And if I have to see what's his face, Baron Corbin one more time,
WWE, it's sad to see where they're at because you know the potential that they have.
Yeah.
They have a fantastic talent pool. Fantastic.
Yeah,
but they're doing nothing with it. Because they cling on to Charlotte Flair. Because they cling on, once upon a time, to Roman Reigns. And look at what that got for them. No, I'm not saying that, you know, Anoa'i deserved what he's getting right now, because of course not. But you put your eggs in one single solitary basket, you never know what could happen.
Yep.
In regards to that individual. And unfortunately, Roman Reigns is dealing with a battle right now. With his own life.
Yeah. That's the
so of course it's not his fault, but WWE put him in this predicament. WWE put themselves in this big-ass ditch that they can't crawl out of.
Right. Now, you said that Charlotte Flair is in Vince's back pocket.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Because of her name.
Because of who her dad is?
Yes. No, I'm not taking away from Charlotte. I think she's a phenomenal wrestler. I think she's better when she plays Bitch Flair.
Oh yeah.
You know, which is what she's been playing the last couple of weeks. I love her in that character.
Yep.
But she don't need to be in this match.
No, not at all.
Come on. And watch this. Watch Becky Lynch pin Charlotte Flair and not Ronda Rousey.
Right.
That's not special. To me, special is if Ronda Rousey puts somebody over.
Yeah.
Come on.
That is special. For sure.
Please. And you wonder why AEW sells out in less than 30 minutes. I mean, and I'm not even talking general public tickets here. Those go on sale either tomorrow or Thursday.
Yeah, you're talking about pre-sale.
Please.
that place is going to be sold out.
It already basically is.
Yeah.
They're gonna be in
turn people away.
what the hell arena is this in Vegas? Bro, help me out here. Arenas.
MGM.
There you go.
MGM.
I was about to say Mandalay Bay, but yeah, MGM. The MGM.
Yeah,
No,
they're gonna be at the
MGM.
MGM.
Yeah.
Look at that. You got New Japan going to Madison Square Garden April 6th. I will be in the building, baby.
Saturday, April 6, 2019. It's going down.
Oh, I can't wait.
Yes. I can't.
For everybody who likes your NJPW, you'll be in the building. Enjoy.
Yes, it's going to be amazing.
And then you have these guys right away gunning for
selling
the MGM
out
Grand.
the MGM Grand.
Are you serious?
I'm
Which is
talking about
primarily
AEW.
which is
yeah.
primarily a boxing,
boxing.
/ MMA arena.
Yeah. Good for them.
Unreal, bro.
I mean, wasn't that where they're...
Now that
where
says
they're,
a lot.
Yeah, wasn't that where their last Thursday, not conference, their reveal type stuff took place?
Yeah, yeah. Listen, it took WWE till last minute to sell out the Royal Rumble. WrestleMania isn't completely sold out. You know what did sell out? NXT. But they're smaller venues. I don't give a damn. WWE hasn't even been able to sell those out.
Nope.
So I don't want to hear that argument.
Exactly.
If you have a good product, you will sell out. Simple as that. It doesn't matter whether it's a small arena or a big arena. If your product is quality, you're going to sell.
Now here's something for you to look at, and I'm glad you brought that up, Ness. AEW is a company that's yet to even air their first pay-per-view. There's a lot of question marks in regards to what other talent are they bringing. A lot of question marks in regards to some of the talent that they've brought, and not because we're scrutinizing them, but more so because we don't know who some of these people are, and we're curious. Who are they? How talented are they? Now, obviously, we know who Chris Jericho is. We know Kenny Omega. We know the Young Bucks. We know Hangman Page. We know... some of us know who Sonny Kiss is. I'm very much looking forward to Sonny Kiss, by the way. We know the Lucha Brothers. You know...
That's who I'm looking forward to.
Pentagon and Rey Fenix.
Pentagon and Rey Fenix. I'm
the best freaking tag team in the world!
Thank you. I'm so looking forward to that match. You don't even know. Oh my gosh. I don't care. I can't wait.
Yeah. I'm with you.
You know,
I cannot wait.
You mentioned earlier that it's sad that WWE has great talent in their talent pool and they're not doing anything with it. Mm-hmm. The sadder thing here is Vince McMahon, who once was a visionary. He once was a marketing genius.
Yep.
And now he's just out of touch. And
totally
refuses
out of touch
to get with the times.
And I don't know what he has. Like, I think he has, and I'm not saying this because I think he's out of touch. I'm being serious. I think he has some kind of disease, like mental, because if you heard him last night or the time before, he would mumble sometimes.
Well, he's old.
And he'd have to repeat himself.
Well, he's old.
You know. Well, yeah, I know.
I don't think he has a disease. He's just old. You know.
Yeah,
I mean, you listen to Jim Ross right now. He doesn't sound like JR either. You know, his voice is a little heavier. You know.
Yeah.
So Vince is he's what, 74 right now?
73, gonna be 74 this year.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you who does sound the same: the King, Jerry.
Oh, his voice has not changed at all.
No.
Yes.
He still does that. And
But-
he'll do his famous, look out! You know.
Oh yeah, look out! Yeah.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Again, AEW hasn't aired their first show,
No.
and they've already done all of this.
But they already have all this buzz around them.
Yeah.
With all the question marks of us not knowing who some of these wrestlers are and knowing who some of them are, they still managed to sell out.
I mean, they even have an affiliation with the Chinese company.
I didn't even know there was a Chinese wrestling organization till now.
I didn't know that either. I'm like, wait, what?
I'm wrestling 101, people.
Yeah, there's a Chinese wrestling organization.
And I didn't even freaking know. So that should tell you something.
Yeah, because I remember you told me that the other day. I'm like, Chinese wrestling company?
Yep.
Oh, I didn't even know they had wrestling over there.
Neither did I.
Wow.
AEW has an affiliation with them. They have affiliation with AAA, which is the Mexican wrestling
Mexico.
organization, one of
Yep.
the two major brands.
Right.
Yep.
That's great. That's great. You know, Kenny Omega said, going back to Kenny Omega, one of the things that I mostly enjoy about the contract that I've been issued is that I'm able to do other projects outside of wrestling, and even wrestling related. I'm able to go in and out of New Japan when need be.
Oh, that's awesome.
So, if anyone thinks that AEW and New Japan will not collaborate at some point,
They
think
will.
again.
They will.
Oh yeah, they will. Oh, definitely. They definitely will.
They
It's
will.
a matter of time. It's not a matter of if, it's when. You know. So everything is aligned perfectly for AEW.
Yes.
They were over in Atlanta, not only for the Super Bowl, but obviously, think about this. Atlanta is where TNT and TBS are stationed.
Really?
Yeah.
You know, with they're probably mixing it up with the Khan family
Oh, yeah.
as well. You know, they were probably doing their part, negotiating TV deals and all
Yeah.
that.
Of course. That's what they do, yeah.
So AEW, they coming for WWE, baby,
Oh, yeah.
Ooh-wee.
and I'm ready.
Me
I'm
too.
ready. Listen, I've never been this excited to be a wrestling fan as I am now. This brings me back to when I was a child, to when we had a choice
Wow.
between WWE and WCW.
WCW.
Now you might be looking at me and say, "Yeah, but what about Ring of Honor and New Japan?" New Japan is already established, and I've gone on record in saying New Japan doesn't necessarily need the United States. But if you look
they
at
don't.
the states in general, we need a wrestling alternative, a true one.
And they understand that. You know? I really think that they understand that.
And what we need is AEW.
Yep.
You know, they said, listen, they've said, why should tag team wrestling not matter? Why should women wrestling not matter? Why can't the Intercontinental Championship not main event? Why can't tag teams not main event?
I mean, if you look at New Japan, right? And they're gonna do
They follow that
a
formula.
show. They follow that formula. For gosh sakes, we even get previews. And what I mean by previews is we get actual matches. But
Well,
it's not for
they
anything but-
incorporate the sporting element.
Right.
Yeah.
There
They do.
are instances where the Intercontinental Championship will take over in regards to main event and over the IWGP Heavyweight title. There are times
Or
when
tag teams.
right. Nothing is degraded.
I don't see anything wrong. I don't see
There's
anything wrong
no
with
there's
that at
no
all, yeah.
devaluing of any title just because.
Right.
You know, and that's what AEW is going to follow.
Mm-hmm. Speaking
But
of New Japan, I have a question for you. It's
Yes,
just
I
one.
breathe with the switchblade.
Okay. I hate to say it, but so do I.
I breathe with the switchblade. One of the best
No.
wrestlers alive right now.
No. You're doing it wrong. It's... You breathe with the switchblade.
Ooh,
That's good.
Wow, that's pretty good.
That's really good. Huh? And I think we should leave on that note. Wow, this podcast was long.
Yeah. Wow.
That was...
What a return, man. What a return. A long-awaited
Yes.
return. Yeah, there we go.
This was Sports Vista and endless possibilities in a sense.
Yeah, it's one of those.
And
One of
there was
those,
also
a little bit of everything.
There was a mic drop,
Yeah. That was
Yep.
funny.
and of course I had to be the recipient.
Yeah.
Anyway, folks, I want to encourage you guys to stop being so complex. Encourage one another. Be positive. Say something nice about each other for a change. Stop with the negativity.
I think my colleagues are awesome.
I agree.
Next. Who's next? Say something nice.
Something nice.
Yes. No, not something nice. Say... I don't know.
I think we should leave on
Where's
that
that laugh
note.
track?
Smart Alec.
I think we should leave on that note. People, thanks for sticking with us through this long podcast. We will return again on Thursday.
That's
We're coming
right.
back
on
tomorrow with the Crime Syndicate.
Thursday.
Ness didn't know that.
Ness didn't know that.
Ah,
No, he didn't know that. But we're coming back tomorrow with the Crime Syndicate.
impromptu return for the Crime Syndicate. Ah.
Yes.
Well, there you go, folks. Well, that's
all right.
that's their show. I have nothing to do with that one, so I'll let them discuss that one off air. If we do come back tomorrow with Crime Syndicate, he will keep you guys notified. Is Ness? He's our social media guru, so
Yeah.
he'll let you guys know what's
Yeah,
up with that.
so feel free to socialize on either one of those pages. I will respond accordingly.
Hey, Will, don't be afraid to
In
hit
one
him
to
up.
in what is it? 1 to 2 business days.
You did one, yeah. Oh, no. 5 to 7 business
5 to
days.
7 business days.
But anyway, folks, thank you very much for sticking with us. New subscribers, I love ya. Previous subscribers,
Yes, we
not
do.
so much. Let me stop. With that said, stay warm, play in the snow, and in everything you do, keep God number one in your life. For ENT Hooligans, I am Baby Moy. She's Lil Crystal. He's Big Ness. Saying so long and sing. Let's get out of here.
God bless y'all. Peace.